Chances are if you're watching this video, you already have some idea on how broken the new R8 pistol is. Never mind the fact that on release you could shoot before the round started or even while defusing a fucking bomb. To paraphrase Sloth Squadron, the gun isn't just overpowered, it's game-breaking. Now, I could spend this whole video circle jerking about how utterly stupid the addition of this gun is, so I will. What the fuck were they thinking? You know what? We already added a ricochet sound effect, so let's just go full Wild West and add a fucking revolver that can one-hit kill at any range. With body shots! Oh, and let's make it a railgun with perfect running and jumping accuracy. So how much should this cost? Well, considering the gun is essentially a pocket op, let's make it cost $850. It's like literally something a child came up with. You know those kids that used to say, well, my dad works at CSGO. You know, I bet one of them actually did have a father working at CSGO. In fact, I bet his father was some rich asshole who bought the whole damn company just for his kid. You know, I can see it now. So, Timmy, what do you want for Christmas? I want a revolver in CSGO. It should be the strongest gun so that I can play cowboy. Oh, and if bad guys get too close to me, I want the gun to be able to shoot real fast like. You guys are getting this, right? Sir, I don't think the community, but we can't possibly balance. Are you trying to take away Christmas from my son? No, sir. But in all seriousness, as insanely stupid and naive as this edition may seem, there are a couple theories out there that quote-unquote rationalize this decision. Of course, from a marketing standpoint, it's easy to understand just why the gun was shipped as broken as it is. Why else would they ship it with a case full of revolver skins? I'm assuming that they're also sticking to the mantra that, quote, there is no such thing as bad publicity. You see a lot of people asking if Valve has learned nothing from shipping a broken CZ75 many moons ago. But you know what? During that time, I bet they saw their profit margins rise, brand awareness expand, and active player count increase after releasing that utterly broken shit. I mean, what do we see now? Everybody seems to be talking about it and trying it out. Even those who aren't even necessarily known to play CSGO are coming out of the woodwork to put in their 2 cents. Hell, even no-name YouTubers like me are producing videos about this travesty instead of studying for finals. On the other hand, there is the idea that Valve manufactured this purposely broken edition to try and hide the huge changes to the game's core mechanics. Now, to keep this video short, I won't be addressing all of the issues, and trust me, there are a lot of issues, because I feel there are far better sources that do so more effectively, which I will link to in the description box below. But to summarize, Valve essentially nerfed the recovery time and overall accuracy of the main assault rifles, making every form of shooting at any position less accurate, directly increasing the rate at which random number generators are used in accuracy statistics. It just blows my mind that this is how the developers attempted to address the debate of why weapons even have first shot inaccuracy. They're just like, fuck it, let's just make everything more RNG based. Even though I still don't understand why the developers at Valve continue to ignore and disregard the constructive criticisms of the hardcore and professional community, I can forgive them for the unintentional balancing mistakes. Look, I understand that balancing within a game is usually found through trial and error. But what makes me so fucking angry is the evidence that suggests that Valve purposely released an overpowered joke of a weapon to try and distract users from discussing the major changes of the game's core mechanics. Quite frankly, it's insulting and detrimental to the entirety of the CSGO community when developers try to use, quote, shock therapy as a form of criticism control. Honestly, whether it's positive or negative feedback, discussion promotes new ideas in the progression of a better, more balanced CSGO. Unlike other forms of media, one of the strongest attributes of PC gaming, and especially Counter-Strike, is the direct feedback from the community, professional or otherwise. Most of us want to see CSGO thrive. We want the game to improve. Seriously, there are people out there like Sloth Squadron who, in their free time, literally lay the groundwork to address and balance weapons in CSGO. How Valve has yet to take any of these contributions into consideration is beyond me. Now, I get that as a company, Valve wants to make CSGO as profitable as possible, but in my opinion, this is the completely wrong way to do it. Valve is playing with fire, and it's only a matter of time before they get burned. Here's why. In addition to effectively breaking the game's concurrent meta and balancing, updates like these absolutely destroy any sort of competitive play. from public matchmaking to the professional level. I get that a lot of people just play CSGO casually, but considering that the Counter-Strike series was built and has sustained its popularity through the appeal of skill over luck, is it really wise to constantly fuck over the competitive hardcore audience just to make a quick buck? While the profitability margins may increase in the short run, I can promise that this trend will not continue. If they proceed to roll out updates like these, the core audience will eventually leave, and when that happens, there will be no long run. So, by the time this video releases, I'm sure Valve will have already nerfed the revolver to somewhat of an acceptable degree. But the point I'm trying to make here is not even about the revolver per se, but about the dangerous trends and ideals that Valve is currently following. By completely disregarding the core community's input and attempting to puppeteer their constructive criticisms, Valve may very well end up ruining CSGO, and with it, the franchise as a whole. Ironically, in the pursuit of profit. Oh, for fuck's sake.
What about new weapons? It could be really fun having a lot of gameplay variation. On the other hand, our players practice intensely with their favorite weapons, right down to learning the recoil pattern so that they can learn to compensate. They're not going to throw away all of that time investment and try something new just for the sake of variety. That means if we make new weapons, they have to have a unique tactical value that's going to attract players to them. There's also a risk anytime we ship new weapons that we're going to destabilize competitive play. That could potentially make our customers so unhappy that they just leave the game and never come back.